This was a reunion that neither really expected. Both father and son had virtually given up hope that he would be rescued.
We don't usually get this intimate, you know. We're English.
It took more than a stiff upper lip to stay alive, but relief at Jamie's survival wasn't enough to prevent a parental ticking off.
I think you had a go at me. I know I did. Yeah. I had him in tears because I was having such a go at him. You know. This is how to get lost in the bush. Leave your phone behind. Don't tell anyone. Don't phone anyone. Don't sign the bush register. Wear dark clothing. I mean, Jesus Christ, Jamie. Oh, and if you've got a space blanket, leave it behind in Perth.
This was the moment Jamie was picked up by the police, captured on the mobile phone of one of the two bushwalkers who'd found him. He'd got lost in the vast blue mountains west of Sydney, having set off alone on July the 3rd without any supplies.
He was eating seeds. He ate some sort of reed, which looked like rocket, as he described it, you know, kind of lettuce. And what he was saying is, you know, he would go up on a height and see where the cliffs were and where he had to go, but as soon as he went down and the trees around him, he couldn't see where he was.
So it was no wonder that the 19-year-old from North London looked gaunt and disorientated when he was brought to the hospital. The police had given him one of their jackets for warmth. Soon after, his father Richard was helicoptered in to see him. He'd been about to catch a flight home to London, having given up hope that Jamie would be rescued.
I was heading home, yeah. You know, I thought, you know, if they haven't found him, he's not wandering about there. He's fallen off a cliff. You know, on the 30 years, he's probably dead within 24 hours of us knowing he was missing. After, you know, giving him up for dead. And, you know, and I had, you know, as I said, I had my little closure ceremony out there in the park. I'd carved his name, we'd lit a candle, we'd buried a red rose for England, and, and, you know, he's come back from the dead.
But back at home, his mother Jean had refused to give in to her worst fears. What made you so convinced he was still alive then?
The person that Jamie is, and I think a mother's intuition. In my heart, I felt, you know, he's okay, he's still alive, and he is coming home.
Her son wasn't so convinced he would make it out alive.
He was kind of losing faith in the idea that there was a God. Every time that helicopter flew over and he waved and shouted and nothing happened. He did think he was going to die. He was that scared.
His father had seen for himself how difficult it was to spot any sign of him from the air, and rescuers had had no luck on the ground either. Dozens of tourists get lost every year in this area, and most are found relatively quickly.
After 12 days in such a rugged area, very hostile environment they were searching in, you know, he's probably perceived bush skills he thought he had, but as anyone that's been up there would know, it's just such a wilderness that it's a fantastic effort to survive a few days, let alone 12 days in that sort of environment. So it's just almost a miracle.
I can't say I kill him, because obviously that would, you know, spoil the point of him coming back. But yeah, I'm going to kick his ass, because, you know, I appreciate the millions that have been spent on this search.
Jamie is now abandoning his plans to travel to Southeast Asia and will head home to see his mother. So what travel advice would you have for him in the future then?
I'm going to get him one of those wristwatches with like a beacon in it, so you can track him. He's not leaving England again unless he's got one of them.
The rest of his family and friends are planning a welcome home party when he's well enough to travel. Ian Woods, Sky News.